That's gonna go live there. I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now because it's not.
Right over there.
Yeah, yeah. If anything, well, it ain't no way to do it. Yeah, it's just gonna have to go with that. I will try to do this too. What's going on? There's nobody. Is this? Am I also on? I'm sorry, folks. I'm new at this. Let me see. Oh, it does show I'm live. Oh, I am. I'm on live on YouTube too. All right. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Trip Podcast. I am your host, Ronnie Mack. This is what I'm doing. Today, I'm going to hit a different subject. We are going to talk about, um, sorry, I'm trying to set up a whole nother thing over here just simply because I'm still learning all this. I don't have all my cameras set up. So I don't have all my cameras and everything set up. Why is it? Oh shoot, sorry. I don't have everything set up right now. So all right, there's the second one. We're gonna try to do two at a time. So I'm gonna try. I got my boy Alex here. I don't have all my cameras set up. So at the same time, he is off camera. You'll hear him comment. He's over there, and me and Alex, where we go back
A lot of years.
a lot of years. we don't want to. We don't want to date ourselves. We go back about 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like fine wine.
yeah, like fine wine.
On the shelf and ready to be popped.
We age better with the fine wine. I hope y'all can see me pretty good. These glasses, I don't want to put glare on my face, so I'm not going to wear them. I don't really need to read anything off there. So, what's going on, folks? What's going to go on today? I'm going to try to keep up with the comments and everything. So, this podcast is episode number 2. Um, I was trying to figure out what to do. Me and Alex was out earlier, and we literally were out earlier, and we were thinking, and I'm like, dude, like 100, like we're gonna go in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, 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 what's up, Joggy? How you doing, girl? Dodge Brothers, thank you. All the equipment in my studio from Dodge Brothers Liquidation, thank y'all. Even the chair I'm sitting in, I'm telling you, the plastic mat I'm rolling on the floor in, Dodge Brothers Liquidation, Shell Factory Tuesdays, Saturdays, 6 a.m. till 1, 2 o'clock. We push it sometimes, depending on our customers. But this next week, we will be out of town at a big flea market, but we'll be back after that doing Tuesdays and Saturdays. As usual, check out Dodge Brothers Liquidation. I'm telling you, I got everything I can from there. Hey, what's up, Midian? So this is what's going on, folks. We were gonna do. I got a topic that I would like to speak on, and it's gonna be. It's not nothing huge and crazy, but I will let you know now. In the future, we will be talking on the topic of being single and dating and the rules, the unseen rules, the wannabe rules. Because I'm gonna tell you what, being single in this day right now, it is not okay. Y'all that are in a relationship and they got a significant other, be like, they don't close the door when they use the bathroom. I think I'm leaving. You better stay there. You better take that open door because it's horrible. But that's another topic for another day. I'm not gonna keep y'all on here long. I know some of y'all done had a long day at work. Some of y'all driving home from work, so we're gonna try to get into this. This is awesome because I don't take notes ever, and I did today. So I was flipping through yesterday. I was actually talking to a friend yesterday. One of the lives is I got going on right now is YouTube, and the other one is Facebook Live. So where we ended up talking about, I ended up talking to one of my friends, and she was talking about like something that happened with her son. Like, hey, listen, like I had to stop him from some of the stuff he's been watching simply because the way he's been talking, the way he's been acting. And I'm like, you know what? That does become a problem. So end up rolling through and went through my news feeds and seeing that everybody knows the movie Friday. You know, Smokey, Ice Cube, Chris Tucker played Smokey and all that. And I thought the reason why Smokey never showed back up in the other sequels of Friday was because he wasn't getting paid enough. and it ended up being not the point. The point ended up being Chris Tucker. The basis of today is the topic of today is actors, actresses, famous people that have stood up for something in their life, like in either their beliefs or personal reasons that they've actually turned down roles. And in that movie, and that the sequels of Friday and the Friday After Next and all that with Ice Cube and all them, Mike Epps ended up stepping in. Chris Tucker actually said he's seen how big that the first one blew up, and that it almost became common for people to thinking smoking weed is like cool. All right, cool. I'll just sit on the porch, smoke weed. But then people were getting in jail behind it. They were getting charges behind it. Other things was coming behind it. And for that simple fact, he decided not to go on with the second thing of Friday. He decided not. Chris Tucker was like, I don't want to be a part of the cussing, the drinking, and smoking, and then kids and everybody thinking it's okay. So my thing is this, folks. Like, we have to watch what our kids are watching. We have to watch what our kids are putting in front of their face. The biggest way into the body, into the soul, into the mind is through our eyes. And we sit there and we let them watch whatever's on TV. It keeps them occupied. But at the same time, that actually opens up bad avenues. They think it's okay for one thing to happen. They think it's okay for another thing to happen. And no, I don't have kids. I know y'all like, well, you don't have kids, you don't understand. I don't have kids, but I have 23 nieces and nephews. I've helped raise a bunch of them. I have some that stay at my house. I've had some that have been in my house for years. So on that note, like I don't have kids, but I've raised kids, and I take those as my children if they're in my house. So it's pretty much like what are your kids watching, hearing affects them more than we actually know. You're going to start seeing it was a funny story, quick story. One of my nieces, she was younger, and I told my brother, I'm looking, and every time I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She'd be like, and she started stuttering it a lot. I'm like, "Bro, like you need to watch it. Your daughter, like you might need to go get speech classes. Like she's sitting there stuttering a lot and stuff like that." And he's like, "No, it's not that." I'm like, "Well, what is it? What do you mean it's not that? She's stuttering." He's like, "Nah, she watches Dora, and at the beginning of Dora, what happens? Dora." And seeing that show over and over, like my boy's laughing, and it's funny, but you don't like if you think about it, like seeing that show over and over, like this child actually start picking up on that and actually start using it in her everyday life as a child. This is like 2, 3 years old, or 3 or so years old. She's stuttering because she sees it on TV and sees it happening and Dora. So we have to realize, like, it's not just that; it's social media, TV, music. It's in all these avenues that we have to watch how things go. So, and I'm gonna tell you, and like we're gonna get into some a little bit. We ain't gonna touch on a lot because I can be on here for hours, but we're gonna get into this a little bit and even get on religious beliefs. My grandmother, and y'all don't know my grandmother. God rest her soul. She's not here with us anymore. My grandmother, Grandma Pearl, like she used to tell me, and I used to have talks with her, and I know everybody in our family did. She raised a lot of kids, a lot of grandkids, a lot of people from the outside. And I talked to her at one point about like movies and stuff. And I'm like, Grandma, why don't you watch this? She was like, people don't understand that you can pick up spirits, you can pick up stuff from what you watch. Like she used to tell it to me, not word for word, but I'll paraphrase. She used to tell me, like, if I can watch Benny Hinn, if I can watch a Christian radio, a Christian TV show, and sit there and pray, and I can feel the spirit and the presence of God by just watching that show, don't you think the same thing happens if you watch satanic stuff and stuff that's not of God? So don't you think that same spirit in those movies, that same stuff that you're watching can get down in your soul? And I'm gonna tell you what, I've watched movies over time, and I'll wake up with nightmares sometime, and I'll have not that stuff happen. So I will tell you, like Michael Myers movies, I might watch, but as far as like the kids crawling on the wall and the head spinning and that's it, nah, bro, that ain't me. That ain't me. And my boy Alex, he's agreeing. Um, y'all gonna hear his voice, but you might not see him. So Alex, you and this is none of this we rehearsed. We were just talking earlier. So this is raw rants with Ron. This is just going straight 100% raw. There's no editing. He knows the profane language tolerance is here, but he's good people. He has two daughters. How old are your daughters?
11 and 9.
11 and 9 years old. So we were talking about this earlier. I know he goes to the movies with his daughters. So how on the fact of you and your daughters, you taking your daughters to the movies, like, is it certain things you let them watch or don't watch, or is it like you're just pretty much scoot up a little bit so they can hear, or is it pretty much just like oh well, you know, they know that this stuff isn't real? Like, how do you?
To tell you the truth, I do my research and I pick my you know, my, you could say your battles, you know what I'm saying? Because we grew up at a different era.
Yeah,
the stuff that kids are witnessing and embracing now are way beyond what we expected back in our days, you know. So to say that certain Marvel movies are, and I say Marvel movies because cool, there's comic books and there's movies and they're hitting a lot of topics where some people don't agree with certain things that go on in a Marvel movie, even though it's a Marvel movie.
I'm not, I don't mean to interrupt you, and it's not gonna happen that much, but like, this is the raw stuff. I'm being real with y'all. I'm a Marvel, y'all know, y'all see all the stuff behind me, Marvel, DC, but you're an actual father. I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking about, the horror movies and all this, but Marvel movies has the death, have all that stuff in it.
Well, not only that, they Marvel now, along with Disney, has thrown a lot of sexuality. And to me, to sit there and explain to my kids, how do you, like, some people say, well, you don't, that's a kid, they don't know the difference. You still have to ask them questions like, how did you feel about that? Yeah. Or did you understand that? We might get the adult content in it, or the
be
adult,
like, oh yeah, whatever,
pun or certain things because we're adults, we're aware. But them, they'll be like, what the heck was that?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something.
So let me ask you this: even with watching Marvel, I heard you just say something like, "So do you question them about the movie, and do you leave a free avenue for them to talk to you about anything, or do they think like, oh well, Dad's a guy and we're girls and we don't talk about stuff, or is it just like a free avenue? Like, hey, if I ask you something like, I'm your father, I want to know what's on your mind."
Yeah, I do want to know what's on my mind because, again, I got two girls. I don't have boys. Where boys, they're a little bit more like, hey,
you can just shoot
my girl? I gotta be like, hey, I'm gonna treat my girls like I would treat any woman that I love. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
I still love my mother. She's the one in my life. But I do still have to. There's boundaries. You feel me? There's ratings. There's also how deep is the movie? You know what I'm saying? Is it a fun movie? Even, you know, because it's not only Marvel movies.
Yeah,
you TV shows.
You literally just blew me off topic because I had look, yeah, I took notes of what I wanted to talk about, but like that, no, that's good, bro. That's what it's about. That's what. Listen, folks, if y'all don't get it, I don't mean to get off topic, but this is what my podcast is gonna be about. I'll get talking with somebody, and I will have guests in here on here, but there is no script to stay to. Like, this stuff is just paper and notes. But when I get on here, I want to be real. I want to be raw. I want to be open with y'all 100%. There is not going to be any editing. That's why I had talked about this for a while, but I didn't want to do this podcast until I was able to go live, because I don't want to edit. I don't want to record something, then edit it and take some stuff out, put some stuff in. I want to be 100% real with you and look at my time and keep it compact so we can all, like, listen, man, y'all comment on Facebook. I got some people on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, comment. Y'all are welcome to comment. Talk to me. Let me know what's up, and I'll try to get to it. But yeah. So back to that. So it's like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, well, you know, we have to watch what our kids watch and the satanic stuff. It's not even that. It's because I guess now that we're actually on the topic, school shootings.
Right.
They actually made a movie about school shootings, and you don't think this stuff. And there's a school right here down the street from me where the parents tried to say like, oh well, they didn't think it was that serious. These kids had blueprints of the school. They had blueprints of where every camera was. They didn't have little guns. They had actual firearms, like real guns, real ammo, real blueprints. It wasn't play stuff and let's just drawn out with crayons. Like, these boys, like they did something that was like on a high school or an adult level that these couple teenagers was doing. But there's some people that argue that could have came from Marvel. thinking that they can be a superhero or they can do whatever they want and kind of get
And
away
then,
with
and,
it.
and again, some people that's their outlet to have somebody to blame. You understand what I'm
That's
saying? Because
real.
trust me, I don't just take my kids to see Marvel or Disney or Pixar. Dude, there's movies that I've taken them to see that have religion, like I can't remember the name off the bat, but it's a movie about the kid that fell through the ice. And I
I
asked my
didn't
girls,
see that at the
right?
Christian movie. Yes.
And I asked my girls, I said, "Do you understand why the mom's grieving? Like she really loves her son?" Because they were like, "Well, why does she look white and he looks Hispanic?"
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
you have to explain that part, but you're like, that's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is the love of the mother with her child and
Yeah.
and their religious beliefs. So those are also movies that are good movies, but you still have to sit there and explain.
So let me ask you this, because now I'm off the topic of movies. I don't even care anymore. This stuff, I'm pretty much, yeah. This stuff is this is out the window. So
Part two.
yeah, part two. We'll make it part two. But so off the topic, not even off the topic of movies, on this same topic. So now let's just go on the widespread of I guess it's almost like the relationship with our kids. Really like having that open conversation, having that open topic with our kids on what they're doing. Do your daughters have cell phones? Do you check on their cell phone? Now, before he even gets to answer this, my nieces, they walk in my house and you can ask them, even if they're watching, I check in on their cell phones. I see what they're on, what they're about. I'm on their Instagram. I'm on some of their Facebook. I'm on some of their TikToks. And don't lock it. Don't block me because I know people. I know people everywhere. And you can, and even if some of my nieces watching this, they've tried to like put different names and they won't associate anything with Macintosh because they know on the radar it'll come back to me. So they'll try to change the names and all that stuff. And then I got friends that'll be like, yo, screenshot, is this your niece? Yep, let me see that screen name. And I'll go check it out. And I've had their pages shut down from my end, from my brother's end, had their pages shut down. So it's going to be the fact of that communication with kids. And yeah, I know there might be like a certain age where you give them their own privacy, but if you feel that they're old enough to have a cell phone, I think that still gives you the right to check in on their social media if you even allow them. Because
well, you're setting the boundaries because even as an uncle, you may not be a father, but you're an uncle. You're still a father figure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a man of guidance.
And that took me a minute to actually understand that
because
too.
if me and you were biological brothers and I failed to do something and you picked up on it, I would expect you to be like, "Yo, can I pull you to the side? I don't know. I'm not experiencing what you are, but I may see this differently."
So
you always have to,
So like me and my brothers we have this unseen, unspoken bond with me and my brothers. If I need to talk to one of my nieces, I'm going to talk to one of my nieces. If it's something I have to take to my brother, be like, hey, bro, like this is what I've seen online. Here's screenshots. Here's this. Here's that. Like, tell them I found it, but something needs to be done about this. There's always ways to go about doing it. Now, there's some stuff where I talk to my nieces, I'll pick up the phone. I'm like, yo, that video you just posted, you better delete it now. And it's done because they also have that respect for me. But at the same time, you have to have that open avenue to get that respect out of them. But kids are going to be kids because I know some of my nieces and nephews that you take their phone away and their friend got them another phone to play with on the side. So you're not always going to win 100%, but I guess having that avenue and letting them know, like, listen, there's a reason why we do this. There's a reason why. Like, you think that you're walking through this on your own? I've been there. I grew up and walked through these steps and all that stuff. So, and just like you say, man, they're not holding bars on movies, radio, TV,
especially radio, like
music videos. What's the
what are those?
What's the guy's name? I did a Facebook post on it not too long ago, and I think it was Lil Nas. Is that the one that did the Old Time Road?
That's the one that had the Prego belly.
And I don't even want to get too far into this because
but that's the sign of our times, man. You know what I'm saying?
Block the Mercedes says block the Wi-Fi in your house. I do that no burner phones here. Okay, I can see that. So if you taken their phone, you can block the Wi-Fi. So
And Mercedes
even
is a
if
parent, right?
yes,
So I'm sure before she got her kid a cell phone, there was rules.
oh yeah, most definitely.
It's
So
like
you don't just give your kid like, hey, Merry
Right,
Christmas, here's a
right.
cell phone.
And-
Like, now
and you know
listen, I
how
give you
kids-
this phone. This is how it's gonna be.
Right. And they're
You
always
break
gonna
those
try to
rules.
break the rules.
Yeah, you know they're gonna
You know,
push it
they're-
because we did it. Y'all did it. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I was good. I was good. I hope my mama ain't on here. But yeah, man, I feel you. And but the basis of this is simply like I know it. I don't want to say bad parenting.
Or bad parenting.
I don't want to say bad parenting, but you can't leave social media, TVs, movies, television shows to raise your children. You know, you have to. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's on the Cartoon Network. I've seen some stuff on the Cartoon Network that bothered me, and I'm like, I know y'all probably thinking like, why are you watching Cartoon Network? Because I love cartoons, so that's just how it's gonna be. We were looking at comic books earlier, but that just like he says, there's some stuff like even in some of the Marvel stuff where women are with women, or some of the guys are gay, or one person's kissing a guy and a girl, and like now you have to explain all that to your children.
And the sad part is, it's not even in movies, man. It's in the news. Sometimes you have to turn off the TV or don't even watch it because the news, everything on the news, one good story, there's 10 bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't even watch the news. I don't know about you guys. I don't even pay attention to the news because, and it's kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to start doing a little bit better with it now. But it's hard to watch the news because everything is negative, edited, and they don't care if it's true or not. They'll come back later and be like, "All right, well, on another note," and move on to something else. Yeah. I don't even want to take notes and do stuff without doing some research, finding out what's real, what's not, and all this. It was looking at the Chris Tucker thing. He literally, I got quotes from him saying it's in my phone. I can't even get to it now. Where he was just like, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I didn't want that, especially attached to me. I don't want to start doing a podcast and sitting here cussing and cussing and cussing, and then your kid watches my podcast and think it's okay to use that type of language. But then when they see me in public and your kids start using that type of language, I'm like, yo, watch your mouth. How can I tell them that when I'm doing the same thing? So we either have to set boundaries,
right,
and abide by them boundaries ourselves, or like, bruh, growing up, we weren't allowed to have TVs in our room because they didn't have to worry about all those, because it was boys in our house. And they didn't have to worry about us trying to watch naked channels and all that stuff. And so there was boundaries. There was no TVs allowed in the room at our house. If you're not married, no girls are allowed in the boys' room, no boys allowed in the females' room. If you're a couple coming to my parents' house and you're a couple and you're not a married couple, you go sleep in that back room, you go sleep over there with the rest of the boys. That's just how it was. Those are rules, and those rules still abide today. And those are the rules abide in my house the same way. It's too open for... I'm trying to, hey, I'm Tom and Jerry. Hey, I'm Tom and Jerry old. No shame in killing them watching that. Popcorn, no judgment here. Cartoon. Yeah, cartoon is what it is. I watch cartoons, but the newer cartoons nowadays are just, they try. For me, I'm going to jump Christianity real quick. The enemy is everywhere where we want to be, everywhere where we're at, everywhere we think we're comfortable, the enemy is going to be there. So it can be in cartoons, it's going to be in music, it's going to be in radio. Oh, well, this is okay. It's not that bad. This is all right. It's not that bad. Well, if I can watch this, I can do that. And then now we're opening ourselves to a little bit, which ends up being a little bit more, which ends up being a little bit more. And then you'll be like, well, at least I talk to my kids. At least I know where they're at. At least I know what they're doing. Now they're out of control. I don't know what happened. It's a lot. I know parenting. That's why they said it takes a village to raise one child. So I know that's two fingers. So that's one child. But so it's like, so we have to watch what they do, not only what they do and listen. We have to watch not only what they do, what they listen to. Hey, what you listen to? I have hip hop playing on my truck radio on, but that's all I listen to. I have worship music logged in there, and I have country music logged in there, but I still watch what I listen to because of what it portrays. And oh, well, you're okay watching this. Well, why are you going to tell me no? Certain stuff is not watched in my house. Period. That's it. If you don't like it, find somewhere else to live. Because I pay the bills here. I'll turn that TV off. I'll unplug it. I'll shut the electric off in the house. I listen. We'll act like it's a hurricane up here. No electricity, no TVs, no cell phones. You got to sit there and look at me and just deal with it. You know what I mean? So, that's just how it is, and you can't say that it's not true. Like, listen, I can ride in my vehicle, and the music that I'm listening to is going to determine how I drive. There's times where I'm driving and I got Christian worship music on, and I don't care who cut me off. I don't care who's driving 5 miles under the speed limit. I don't care about none of that because I'm into my worship music. But then there's times where I'm playing my Christian rap music and I'm in my mood and I'm in there jamming and somebody cut me, yo, I got a horn. I had to my main vehicle has a horn. My other vehicles don't, and that's for a reason. And I thank God I even had tried to get them fixed because I am that person when you are driving 10 miles under the speed limit in the fast lane that you might get a horn because there's nobody in front of you. So I have to watch myself. I'm not perfect. None of us are. But it's just a fact that the main reason of getting on here today, we're at 26 minutes right now, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep talking. When I start seeing stuff die down, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I might go to no longer than 35 minutes because I want you to be able to watch this and enjoy it. I don't want to get too much into it. But it's just a simple fact, man. Like, we have to be part of our children's lives. I know a lot, like, oh, well, they're teenagers now. I try to give them that privacy. Like, they're going to deal with stuff that they're going to need, not want, they're going to need us there for. I have nieces and nephews, and I'm telling you, like, even with these music videos nowadays, there's music videos where some of these girls are getting depressed and they're singing about depressing songs.
It's influence. The big word is influencer.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's positive and negative. And when you hit up about Chris Tucker,
yeah,
I think he doesn't want to leave that legacy of I'm the one that started the weed thing.
And that was his thing. That was his thing. Chris Tucker.
And the sad thing is, if you smoke or don't, that's your choice. You're an adult. You're a free person.
So this was 1995 when it wasn't legal. This is 19. Yeah. We're not talking about smoking weed nowadays, folks. We're talking about 1995 when smoking weed was illegal. So what Alex was saying was, like, it's an influencer that Chris Tucker did not want to leave that legacy of, like, I'm smoking. Everybody smoke weed, and it's good for you. That's not the legacy, and that was pretty much what he was saying in one of his interviews. Like, that's not what I want to leave behind. I don't want people, because what happens, people go out smoking weed, getting caught smoking weed, and trying to be like me, they end up in jail, they end up with a record. At the end of the day, he's making money because he just made a movie. But now you have a felony on your record because of what you've seen on TV. Yeah. So it's that influencer.
And times change because now it's used for, some people use it for a certain purpose. You know what I'm saying?
So
and it's not cheap anymore. So that's your thing. And it's like alcohol.
Bro, I listened to this interview that he did, and it was on the, like, he was pretty much saying, like, he stopped doing it because he got back into the church and everything. That's why you didn't see Chris Tucker and next Friday and the Friday after next, because he didn't hate him. He's still friends with Ice Cube. Ice Cube even said in the interview, like, listen to this, folks. Ice Cube them offered Chris Tucker $10 to $12 million to do one more movie as Smokey, and he turned it down. 10 to 12 million. Some of y'all thinking I can buy a new religion with that, but that's like, what are you picking? Would you rather watch a TV show with nothing but nudity in it, and your kids walk in and see it and stuff like that, and then this is stuff that's embedded in their mind and in their soul? Or are you willing to be like, you know what, I really even should be what does this benefit me? You know? So he went on to the fact of saying just simply after turning down those roles, because they came out with the other two movies in 2000 and 2002, and he stayed away from that. He ended up running into the movies with Jackie Chan.
And he also did Dead Presidents.
Dead President. Yeah. And
but the thing is, everybody
he changed.
expected, I want Smokey.
Yeah, that's what everybody wanted. Right. Because that negativity, that's what was the influence back then, was smoking weed.
Like Urkel's always gonna be Urkel.
Urkel's always gonna be Urkel. So even okay, let's step away from Rush Hour. Thanks, Mike. Michael, thank you. I appreciate it. Bro, you came in at the right time because I went blank. I didn't even realize what was going on. And Michael Cooper also has a podcast. Mike, I'm gonna be getting with you. We're gonna be talking. You're gonna be helping me out some, because I got to get all these cameras and everything set up to do this stuff the right way. So I appreciate it on that lookout, because I needed that, because Rush Hour disappeared. So, but just so y'all don't think it's just him, Denzel Washington, he did do Training Day back in the days, but did y'all notice that he even stepped away from Training Day? And you check out Denzel Washington now, and he's on a Christianity front. It ain't just a religion, it's his relationship with God. He did the book.
People change.
And that's it. People change over time. I don't want my legacy to be Smokey. I don't want my legacy to be Training Day.
Let me ask you this.
What's up?
Big namer, The Rock. If The Rock changed his movie style now, how many of y'all out there would stop watching him?
Yeah.
Or feel differently about him?
What if he starts getting into a serious romance novel?
No, if he becomes a dick and all of a sudden starts playing the role of a bad guy, besides the movie Shazam that's coming out. I mean, Black Adam. But I'm saying,
if he starts becoming, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't mean to call out my dad, but my dad, big Denzel Washington fan. The minute Denzel made Training Day, my dad stopped.
It happens because those are your heroes.
And naturally, he's like, he's so good, but that's it. But Denzel's point was, I can play something other than the good guy, and he did that in that movie. He did a darn good job in that movie. That was a great movie. But at the same time, what he portrayed in that movie, my dad didn't like it. Didn't sit well with him. And when he didn't even watch the whole movie, once he starts seeing this stuff pop up, he actually pulled away from it. And that's just how it is sometimes. So, but Denzel got to the point, the movie Book of Eli, where he's going through a rundown world and he's sitting there and he actually memorized. It looks like he's carrying the Bible to take it to a safe place so they can reproduce it, because there's no Bibles left. And it's all in him. Like, he's memorized the Bible. That was a very, very, very deep movie. There's killing in it. There's murder in it. There's rape in it. But the idea behind it was so much bigger. And there's so many other movie stars that have went to the point of that. There's rappers that you guys have not even seen in a while that have disappeared simply because they went over to Christianity, and because they're not making that style of music anymore and they went over to Christian, their music is still just as good, but nobody wants to talk about them anymore because they're not in the limelight. They're not creating headlines, going battling against somebody else, and they're not making the big dollars. I'm not making the big, they're not making big dollars anymore. Let's move on to this and that. So that's what it comes to a lot, man. And I'm gonna tell you, it's kind of aggravating at some point, just simply because, hey Joe, thank you for popping up on YouTube. Appreciate you. And you're on Facebook. You're everywhere, bro. I appreciate you. Good looking. I appreciate that. Y'all make sure y'all go to my YouTube channel, which is Trip Podcast. Like it, follow it, share it, stream it, because I didn't think about this until just now, to go on both Facebook Live and YouTube to do both at the same time, but we're gonna make it. Yes, Carlos said they've been outcast, and that's how it is. Once somebody makes a change for the good, it's like, oh, we don't care about you anymore. Let's go over to this place here. But the kid Lil Nas, he said that was his purpose, was to get in through the children's influence, and then now that he has the people backing him, he can do whatever he wants. And I think they said, not quoting anything, in one of his interviews, he said, I'm almost over this gay phase. Like, it's just a thing for him.
So it was a gimmick.
Exactly. It was a gimmick just to get
Gimmick,
new
question mark,
people.
let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Gimmick, question mark.
and just to get new people and get just the simple fact that I'm talking about him, people are going to start looking up his music, looking up his stuff, and then next thing you know, he's going to keep climbing, no matter what it is. The more negativity it is.
So you know what we're gonna say. If
What?
you're saying that climbing, who has climbed up recently? Island Boys. They're a gimmick.
He said Island Boy. There was. I don't even know how. Like, how did that even happen? How did that even start?
It was a joke that became a meme.
That became, and now they're Island Boys. Look at, I'm not getting off topic.
Famous, so
Kim Kardashian. How did the Kardashians even come about? Nobody even paid it. I know how they came about. Nobody paid attention to the Kardashians until Kim came out with the sex tape with Ray J and all them, and then that became the thing, and then they got their reality show, and then that just became like, but for what? It's so it's almost at a point where back in the days we had good TV, we had Thundercats and Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck, and nowadays these reality shows are really like absolutely out of hand.
You know what changed? Is there used to be there was a job at one point where there was ratings on everything, from comic books to records to TV.
Mm-hmm.
There was somebody there always pointing a finger saying no.
Yeah, because you can watch ABC and they're gonna show boobs.
And you know what changed?
And they're gonna show butt crack.
Streaming changed the world.
Yeah.
HBO changed the world.
So they don't have to go through all the ratings and everything simply to do that. But it's just I'm not, listen, folks, I'm not condoning nobody pointing fingers and stuff. I still got TV shows that I watch that might not be the best, and I'm trying to do better. But at the same time, I'm telling what we're talking about is basically like keeping an eye on your kids. I'm an adult and I have a hard time dealing with this stuff, changing my way of life, changing the way I see things and do things. And I get out and start acting a certain way and doing a certain way. And yes, Rod, I appreciate you. He said he's probably watching Thundercats on Hulu. Thank you, Hulu, for providing that, because I started from season 1, episode 1, and started over with my Thundercats, brought back memories because they redid Thundercats.
Because it's not Thundercats, it's something else.
I dislike it. That's true. It's not our Thundercats. It's because they're going with the age of the time. So, I just want to, like, it's to the point where, you know, we gotta do this together. If you like, I'm not saying you're in Perkins and you see a kid watching a nasty video, you go slap that kid up in the back of the head and snatch their phone, like, because you'll probably get the police called on you. But we have to, our nieces, our nephews, our friends, our kids, we can't be ashamed to be like, hey, dude, I seen your kid watching this. Like, you do what you want. I don't know how or what your rules are, but I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. If they don't do anything about it, you can't do nothing about it. You can't go overstep. No, even my brothers, I can tell my brothers all I want of what their kids may be doing or what they're posting on TikTok or the music they're listening to. But if they allow them to do it, that's them. I can't control that. I can only try my best to be part of that village to help raise these kids in the right way and explain it to them. Don't just take their phones or change it what they're doing. For not doing
questions as well.
Yeah.
Simple questions. Why do you like that? Why do you like that?
And that's good. See, this is why I have help, because I can't do this by myself. No, but Alex is a father. He just said, like I said, we were talking, he just popped up and he's like, you have to not just question him, ask him why do you follow that person? What makes you want to follow that person? Oh, they're cool and I like the way their hair is, or oh, because he was dating so-and-so and so-and-so was dating this person and this and that. And maybe you need to start doing your research on some of the people they're following to see what their background is. But he's simply saying, just question them. Question your kids. Like, hey, why do you like watching that TV show?
Yeah, because like you said, back in the days, there was no question. You do what I say, and that's it. I'm
not being funny. I'm not being rude. I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to be 100% real with you. You know how we had to watch channels back? Now, I ain't going to say we. I'm going to myself. So, and I'm a young man. I was growing up a young man in our time. You either had the internet or you had to watch the fuzzy channels, the static channels that were showing adult channels, and you might catch a glimpse of a boob or something in there. And I ain't gonna lie, I've watched it. I've sat there watching a stupid gray screen with fuzz, hoping that breast or booty crack pops up. Or everybody in the house knows you're going online because it was dial-up internet. My mom come busting in the door. What are you watching? Nothing. I'm checking my email, and it wasn't no email. I didn't have email to check back in. So it was so much harder back then to have access to some of this stuff that nowadays it has become so easy access that I can go on my phone. I can go to Google and Google breast and naked boobs will pop up. You know what I mean? So it's all what it is. Hey, there's a thing. Lack of energy of parents have on what impacts their children. The truth is that parenting have gotten lazy. Sammy is, and that's real. And
you know what?
That's why I said earlier the simple fact of I don't want y'all to take it the wrong way, but I'm not saying that you guys don't know how to parent your kids, but we've let social media, we've let TV, we've let movies, we've let iPads, we've let these things teach our kids and half raise our kids, because we didn't have that back in the days. When you're sitting at a dinner table, you were sitting at a dinner table with your brothers and sisters and siblings at a restaurant, and we're all talking, or you sit there and be quiet and you learn manners and respect. But nowadays, kids starts talking at the table, and instead of them having that outside respect and manners, we put an iPad in front of them and we put tablets in front. And I know it's helpful sometimes, but my parents didn't have that back in the days. And I'm not saying I turned out the best, but but it's a lot more stuff going on nowadays, and you could be sitting there caught up in an adult conversation with another adult and not even knowing that your kid's over there tapping in to YouTube or something else, and now they've gone on to a whole nother.
And that's funny, because this is a topic that could go forever.
It can.
You know why? Because there's two ways about it. There's married couples and single parents. Because that single parent still has a co-parent with the other half. You don't by yourself.
Okay.
So what you don't agree with at your house might go on to somebody else's house. You feel me? Like,
all right, folks, listen. My time is not up here. Stay on, please, if you want to, but we're gonna keep talking because I just want to get into this. This is my thing, and sorry about this. Hold on a minute, folks. I want to get into So I want to get into this. So what my co-host Alex today was just saying, he was like, what he's saying is there's two ways to look at it. There's a way to look at it from a married standpoint, parents parenting together.
Or you're not married, because you could be a couple
and or not married, or parents being together on the same page. And then you have the fact of not saying you're not on the same page, but co-parenting. Right. What goes in mom's house don't go in dad's house. So how
do you come to amends? How do you meet halfway?
How do you make it work?
Make them normal to your standards?
That's hard, bro.
It is. You know why? And I'm
because me and you can talk about all we want, but when you leave, hey, don't tell your daddy. Give them the tablet, and it be that.
Tonight, your followers, some are single parents, or parents together, or parents that don't agree with certain things, and they have different views because they were raised differently. But one thing brought them together, and that's love and affection. And now they have a kid that they're trying to raise right, or several kids. So the thing is, and it goes back to social media. One parent.
I hear y'all. Go ahead.
One parent may agree on we call it the babysitter. Here's a tablet. You got 20 minutes. Let me finish my laundry, or let me finish doing this. That's the babysitter.
Okay.
Others are like, yo, go read a book because your grades are ugly.
Yeah.
Me, that's my thing. Yo, raise those grades. Bet we're gonna do something about it. You know.
So I got people on here. One said that is a very detailed topic that can go on for a while. And I agree. Right. And I'm not trying to keep y'all on here for 12, 15 hours. I just want to be real, because some of this stuff we need to talk about. And bro, listen, people, my people, y'all, my people. I'm not on here to point fingers. I'm not on here to saying y'all doing a horrible job. We're on here to raise awareness for each other. Because sometimes, listen, we're adults. We're human. We get sidetracked. I get busy with school. I get busy with work. the best thing I can, hey, listen, I got some stuff I got to do. Finish your, just go watch your tablet, go watch TV. I'll get with you in a minute. I promise I'll get with you in a minute. And then you get done doing laundry. You're a single parent. You're working full time and you're in school. By the time you get done with laundry, putting laundry on, getting dinner done, getting the kids, hey, go get your bath, brush your teeth, wash your face. Listen, go do this. And then you sit there, you got to clean up after dinner. You got to make sure the laundry's done so they can have stuff for school tomorrow. You got to get your stuff ready for work tomorrow. And then on top of that, you got me telling you you need to watch what your kids are watching. No, I'm not pointing fingers.
Well, no, today's podcast is not about that. We're not pointing fingers.
No, we're just making you.
You made it an open topic and let people chime in.
We have to watch what our kids are doing.
Tell me how you feel.
We have to watch what my babysitter must follow parental rules. That's good because I didn't even get on that. Even if you do have a babysitter, what are your rules? Are you putting even like? Ooh. Man, yo, we can be on here for like 5 or 6 hours. I'm not gonna do that.
Next podcast, coffee and a notepad.
Yeah.
That's it. True story. True story. 2022. We got a list of adults venting.
Yeah.
We need that because it's cheaper.
How do we do it? Yeah. Like I'm not sure. 3 million follower podcaster that ain't paying attention. Like I'm going back now, trying to. Not yet.
We're gonna get to
that
level. We're gonna bring everybody.
So I'm just trying to get to where I can read some of these. We have to be an example for our kids to look up to. That is true. But and that is true. And I guess kind of what I want to hit on the topic today is that sometimes we get caught up trying to provide and trying to make things happen for them, that sometimes we miss them. Sometimes we miss our kids. Sometimes it's better to go outside and play kickball in the front yard or show them that, you know what, I'll try skateboarding with you and I fall and bust my behind. But sometimes we have to take that hit. Sometimes we have to, all right, I got to stay up later and do my homework tonight, but I spent time with my kids. That little bit is what might make the difference. And like I said, I'm not here trying to tell nobody how to parent. I just think we should all look into just trying to do a little bit better and trying to make things happen. And me trying to figure out how to go through these comments without it jumping every time I touch it. Okay, here we go. That's why he didn't come back for part 2, right? Yes, that is why he didn't come back for part 2. Chris Tucker, yeah. You gotta eat, yeah. Melissa, what's up? How you doing? Sorry, I'm trying to hit some of these comments, folks. I didn't mean to just stop in the middle. Okay, there it is. I got to. There. Probably about Thundercats. I'm very laid back and give us things. Yep. Uphold. And that's it. Like it's things are much harder nowadays too. I don't even want to get started on that. Rent, mortgage, school, and trying to pay bills, trying to put gas in your car. Half the time, by the time you work and go do what you got to do, you got to put that money in your gas tank and your mortgage or rent, and you're done. You ain't got nothing else to give. You know what I mean? We have the first color TV on our block, no remotes. Joe, like, don't age yourself, Joe. I see that, but don't age yourself.
Hey, I had a black and white TV. That thing was amazing.
I just lost my spot again. Sorry. Oh, there it is. You can Google bar stool and strippers pop up. That's true. And I'm telling you, you have to watch. I have somebody who I know who their son was looking up a cartoon in Google, and you don't even want to know what popped up. And he's like, why? Like, and then next thing you know, ad after ad, you know, you'd be at work and be like, I'd like a new golf ball, and you hit that site that has a new golf ball, and now you got all these different porn ads popping up, and then your boss walks in your office and like, what are you doing? So you imagine your child. So sometimes we might have to put locks and parental controls. Whoever just said that, I'm getting to it on their stuff. And that's true. Joe says the internet are raising our kids today, and it sucks, but it's just like, I'm not making excuses. Like, we get so busy and so caught up sometimes that's just what it ends up being. Not saying that that's good, but now you got one parent that's busting their behind to make ends meet. And yeah, the internet helps. Yeah, it all helps to where you it helps to where you're doing that. But at the same time, you have to realize, like, okay, is this being done at the other house? Is and I think I'm in the co-parenting comments now. You have to agree together. That's a big thing. But even like, what happens when? So this is for you and you. So say you agree together, like, all right, screen time on devices are 30 minutes a day after chores and homework is done. But then you're talking to your kid, and your kid's like, "Well, Dad lets us watch our tablet until we get ready to fall asleep at night." So is that something that you be like, "Well, you need to do better and don't depend on your dad," or is that when the phone calls happen? What if it doesn't? What if the agreement is there? Because we're talking in perfect world where, all right, cool. This is how it goes. These are the rules, and both households at different times abide by the rules. Then now you're getting into it where it's not, and it's not the fact that if it's not, it's the fact of if it's not, and now it's affecting your child. When your child comes back home, there's attitude, there's talking back, there's mouthing, there's singing songs. I'm gonna tell you one thing that I don't like. I'm gonna tell you, my nieces don't know it. Some of them just walked in the house. I'm gonna tell you what something I don't like. I got cameras in my house, not in any of the bedrooms or bathrooms, but in the main, watching the ins and outdoors of my house and on the outside, and I have Ring and all that. So I would check in, and I would have a niece that would sit there, watch YouTube on the TV, and booty dance. I'm
not laughing.
No, because it
I'm
happens.
not laughing because it's funny, and you see it too often.
Yeah, but it's and I'm gonna tell you, I can't stand going out somewhere and seeing somebody's kid out there sitting there and popping, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at her!" No, no.
Yeah, but it's
no.
But it's a trip. Somebody sends you a message, and there's a kid in a diaper just
yeah.
going buck wild, but
that's different. Yeah,
know,
but
there's
a well, that's another way.
That's something to watch out because you have that perfect example. My daughter is friends with another little girl from school, and the little girl had a YouTube channel. Well, my daughter made a comment about something that they were talking about, and an adult chimed in. An adult. And to me, it got me because I'm like, I asked, I said, what were you guys talking about? And they were talking about, I forgot, it was some, kid stuff.
Yeah.
And this adult was commenting about, hey, little girl, this, that. And I'm like, first off, you're a male. What are you doing on a kid's YouTube chat? You know what I'm saying? So that's stuff that you got to be aware of also. You know what I'm saying?
I see you in here, and I like all your comments. Y'all can go through these comments too. So she's, and I feel you, Alex, too. So she's basically saying the parental controls.
It's always going to fall on us.
It's always going to fall on the parent. And then somebody else was even saying that, like, I know it's tough for y'all, single mothers, single fathers. Some of you are playing mother and father. Some of you are playing father and mother. Some of you are taken up because when your kid goes to the other household, they're being left with grandparents. So now you have to pick up on that half. It's almost to the point of you have to watch it because it becomes too much. So what happens when you run into that resistance?
What do you mean, from the youth? From
the
kid, or
no, from the other half. Hey, listen, I don't want the kid. I don't want our child. I'd rather them read a book, or I'd rather them do this. I don't want them on their tablet all the time. I took it from them at my house. Well, that's not how things go at my house, blah, 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 blah. So now you got somebody blatantly, your other half in another household, blatantly telling you, like, that's not the way it's going to go here. Because we know, as adults, we know a lot of times when that happened, it has nothing to do with the child. It has to do with bitterness because I want to tell you how you're not going to tell me how to run my house where I'm at. It doesn't have to do with the benefit. Doesn't have anything to do with the benefit of the child, but it ends up being to the part. I like that, Evie. She was saying picnics, libraries, or parks, or even movie nights. That's good. to even throw in.
And that's good. That's you're keeping them active. That's the
Mhm.
point. Keep them active. Don't let them get to the point where all of a sudden we go back to the tablets, the babysitter, or they're the ones raising our kids.
You know what happened at my house? My nieces them were living with me for a while. I told them, hey, listen, we're gonna go get some paint. We finna paint the outside of the house. We finna do some yard work. Do you know they disappeared? I didn't see them for like 4 months.
Yeah.
They're back now.
We used to call that back in the days paying the rent.
That is paying the rent. You don't get a what do they call it, allowance. You better get out here and do some work so you can keep this roof over your head.
Oh man.
God first, family second, career third. Joe, that is so true, but it's so hard. I'm being real. It's hard. Not saying you're wrong. That is how it should be. But the internet doesn't have to raise your children. You should watch how much TV, and that's what I'm getting on. I think I went from the Evie. I went from the topic of movie actors and people turning down roles because of their personal preference or religion to the point of we can't put that on them. And I know it was more like, okay, this person didn't take this movie because of this. Yeah, they're looking out for it. But who is this? Somebody's on here talking trash because I see a comment popped up at Justin's on here now. About the big issue about the internet is an influence on society, young and old. It does. Because it'll have me looking at some stuff like, you know what, maybe I need some new shoes. Or I'll go whenever I want to buy me some new socks. I go on there. Or anytime there's anything to do with Oreos that I get tagged to it. I've seen it 50 times. I have everything Oreo. No, I'm just joking. I love Oreo stuff. Maybe that's when parents need to come together and make a plan so kids don't have to have a response to talk back to. And I agree with that. I like my nieces and nephews know if they talk back and it's in front of me, I don't care if you're talking to me or not. I might drop kick you. I will. And you can call DCF. Know why? Because you're not my child. So I ain't got to worry about it. I'm going to drop kick you still, though. You know it's coming. Why do you have camera? Cuz I got cameras everywhere. Oh, because I'm an uncle. And at one point, I have my oldest niece and I had 3 other of my nieces living in my house. And I have cameras to keep my house and my property safe. So my Ring camera catches anybody that comes up to the door. And then my other cameras on the exterior catches anybody that drives by, comes in the back gate, or anybody that comes in and out of my house is always on camera and always recorded for the safety of my family. And it really doesn't have nothing to do with me. I'm a licensed gun owner. There were guns in my house. So you better believe this house is protected. But for the protection of my nieces and nephews, but for the protection of my nieces, because I have nieces more in my house than anything, that's the main reason why that I end up keeping, I have cameras in my house. Let's see. No, I ain't gonna show you how to be dancing. We did a little, y'all know how to girls dance and stuff nowadays. What's that?
Gun control. And
gun control. That will be the safety of firearms, having protection in the house. If y'all need, give me a shout out. Little baby sit, monitor, and the internet. Hey, Justin, listen. Did you not hear the beginning of this podcast? The language is here. You are in the comments in your cussing. Calm down. And you're probably the one that told me, that was Chuck. Chuck, I see it. I thought this was 25 minutes long. It was 25 minutes long, and I'm going to go to my YouTube. YouTube says we're at 59 minutes on YouTube right now, and both of these were started at the same time. Somebody just logged off. I only had 2 viewers on YouTube. Now I have 1, but I don't have everybody following on there. But we are on live on here on Facebook. Now I've caught up. Evie, I got you, girl. Justin, it's all good, Justin. I got you. You're my boy. You know, Chuck, I see you. Chuckles, I gave shout out to Dodge Brothers Liquidation for all this exciting, beautiful equipment I got in here. Y'all can't see nothing. Yeah, I heard the little music thing, the hand clapper. It was over here. But Justin, I got you. It's good to have you back in town, Justin. I might even have you in here at one point. me and Justin worked security together for a while. We've gotten in a lot of altercations together. I've had to hurt him a couple times. I'm just joking. It was by mistake. And Chuckles is my boy. We go back to high school. He graduated with my brothers and stuff, but we do Dodge Brothers liquidation and stuff now. We have fun. We go traveling and we enjoy life together. But that was the basic topics of today, guys. I don't want to keep y'all on here. We have hit 1 hour. Hey, there's another Dodge Brothers, Brian Ray, coming on here. I appreciate y'all showing love. I appreciate y'all popping up. I appreciate Alex for coming in and being here and going through some of this because it's better. I can sit here and talk to y'all all day, but when I have somebody else in here, especially it ended up like this. I haven't seen Alex in a little bit. And we always catch up a couple times a week. I got my boys out there, Moses, Big Herb.
This therapy.
And that's what he's saying. Like, this is therapy for us. Like, we sit here and talk. And y'all, we got to walk through life together. Y'all parents, there's some parents that probably are like, you know what? I haven't asked in a while. Hey, what are y'all watching at your dad's house? Or what are you watching at mom's house? This is just stuff that, like, we got to look out for each other all together. So I like having guests on. I would like to continue to have guests on my podcast simply because it gives a different point of view. I can sit here and talk to y'all all day, give y'all raw rants on my end, but on the other side of it, it's always good hearing from other people. I like the fact that I can go live because I can talk to y'all right now and hit it up now rather than trying to go back and answer stuff later. We would have been here sooner, but someone called out of work tonight. We had, my bad, Chuck. Chuckles, I got y'all. He's put me on blast because we were supposed to do some more separation for the bins for a bin store tonight, and I decided to go live. Which next week I will be in. I don't know where we're going to be at, but we're going to be at a flea market out of town. So I'll be doing my podcast from out of town. So I'll probably have the Dodge Brothers crew out there with us. We'll just be talking. We'll pick a topic for next week while we're out there. Alex, Joe says, what's up?
Hey.
I love it. I hope to catch you guys next time. Zoom Tan. Yes. Hey, Joe, we need to get a Zoom Tan sponsor up in here. Make me. Fort Meade is where it's going to be at the Fly Masters. There's Jackie. That's the boss lady of Dodge Brothers Liquidation. Whenever I try to pay for something, Miss Jackie tells me to get lost and finds a way to put my money back in my car. So me, Miss Jackie, Ben Store, Brian, Cheapskate, Charlie, Redneck Ron. I have many names. I've been called a lot worse, so I just roll with it. But we're the Dodge Brothers Liquidation. So we will be at We'll be at Fly Masters in Fort Meade next week from Wednesday to Saturday. So if y'all look for us and y'all know us at the Show Factory, we won't be here next week. This Saturday we'll be at the Show Factory. Next week, Wednesday, Tuesday through Saturday, we'll be in Fort Meade. It's an hour and 45 minutes. Y'all drive up. It is a huge Flywheelers, not Fly Masters. Y'all just go to Fort Meade. Don't be going smoking now. But I'm telling you, we have a bunch of new products and stuff out there with the Dodge Brothers. I will give a shout out. I had one out last time. My first video, I had Soho Wellness shirt on. Sozo Wellness. That's my sister-in-law's pharmacy. I appreciate y'all. She looks out for me because I get medication and I don't know what none of it means. My COVID information, I go to her for if I have any questions. She answers what she can. She's 100. She's upfront. She's real. Even if you have questions about medications you're taking, call her. She'll take your info. She'll talk with you. She'll explain to you. That's what she does it for. We'll have her in here sometime to explain her business. Next week, we'll be with the Dodge Brothers. So we'll pick a topic while we're out there, or we might just get on here to rant. We're going to have to tone down Ben Store Brian because Ben Store Brian outdoes me. So we're going to have to get him to. Is that possible? Are we going to be able? We'll figure out what happens. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all being here. Like I said, I'm not always going to be on Facebook Live. I'm trying to keep it to where it's on YouTube. I will upload it to the next. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I appreciate the input. I appreciate the love. I appreciate y'all being here, especially for this 1 hour that was supposed to be 25 minutes. Chuck said they're already at Fort Weed. We might even get on that topic. I got one of my boys, Moses. He works at a dispensary. We're going to get him in here. We're going to talk about some medical marijuana stuff and topics and all that stuff. We'll have the guys in here from the fire department. We're just going to get in and talk about some of this stuff. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to get everywhere. I dropped it everywhere, but I did go on. I got one. My phone is on Facebook Live. My iPad is on YouTube, which nobody else is on there right now, but then it's always going to be on there. So you can always go to my YouTube, look up, go back, watch it. And then on top of that, I'm going to have my PC set up. I got cameras in the room. So when we are here, you'll get different views of the guests that are here. Until all that gets set up, y'all start looking at me. When that does happen, you'll see Alex, you'll see any other guests. I got room here for 3 other guests in here. My nieces are looking in from the outside, so I'm gonna have to put curtains over there because she is giving me the ugly face and her hair is really messed up right now. So TikTok, you'll need 2,000 followers to go live. Oh, I don't got no 2,000 followers, so we'll stay on here. Not going on yet. We're gonna get it up. We'll get y'all on TikTok too. I'll do all that stuff. But I appreciate y'all, man. I want to keep this going. For right now, we're going to be running with once a week. There might be times where I might just pop up and do a Facebook Live and go from there, or YouTube Live and go from there. But we'll try to keep it on Thursdays for right now, 6 o'clock. Might do earlier. I picked 6 o'clock because I know some of y'all might be coming home from work. You can turn your phone on, put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook Live, and give you something to listen to on your way home, or when you get home, or get through the weekend. But this is just something I want to do. I have time on my hands. I'm retired from the fire department. I keep my hands busy, but I just want to be here, be real, and be with y'all, man. Make this happen. You'll make them. Post videos, follow people. Gotcha. Evie's giving me I'm gonna have you. You'll be my manager. You're gonna get me out there. Make this happen. Topic for next time: bus transportation issues. I'm not driving no bus, so you ain't gonna get me. But it does make me. There's not enough bus drivers. Alex is really upset with that topic. So
no, the topic should be: do cars come with signal lights?
Oh, do cars come with signal lights? He's saying.
Is that extra?
It's an extra feature. You get roll down windows, or you get signal lights. You pick which one you want. Y'all don't be afraid. I will post every once in a while on Facebook, or hey, if you got an idea for a topic, I'm not saying it's gonna jump on it right at that point, but write it out. I'll do a thing. Just let me know what you want to talk about. If it's something in the real world, we're gonna get on dating issues. We're gonna get people in here that have dealt with depression. I've been through depression. I've dealt with that. It's big, especially in men, especially in adults. We don't like to speak like we don't have it. But I've been through depression. I've sought help. I've sought help at the church. I've sat with psychiatrists for years. I did not do the medication just because I chose not to. But we're going to get, and then the medication leads to addiction. So we're going to get on the fact of, we'll have one podcast that'll be talking with people that have been through, going through, or surviving through addiction. That's drugs, alcohol, abuse. We're going to get on the fact of abuse. That's both sides of it. So I just want to dig in, folks. I want y'all to be there with me. I want y'all to walk with me. I want to have people that have friends of mine that have walked through, that I know that are walking through it, that have been through it. We're not here to judge. We're not here to point fingers. We're here just to open up the mindset, let people see, because people see, well, they've been through this. They should be better by now. It's hard to get out of addiction. It's hard to get through depression. It's hard to get out of suicidal thoughts. It's hard to get away from some of this stuff. Angelo, what's up, my brother? What's going on, man? It's hard to get away from drinking. It's hard to get away from drugs. It's hard to get away from whatever medication you're on. I've been through, thank God. I literally say right now, I thank God for the simple fact that I've been through my back surgery, shoulder surgeries, Achilles surgeries, and I'm not addicted to these medications because it's so easy. When I first had my first back surgery, I was like, all right, I'm good. After 3 weeks of taking these strong, that was between I can't even think the name of it now, but between these medications that they had me on, after 3 weeks, I threw the meds down. 8 hours later, I was puking my brains out because these meds are so strong and so addictive that in 3 weeks of me not taking any meds to taking meds for a couple times a day for 3 weeks after back surgery, I ended up being addicted. I had to start back taking them and then slowly wing myself off myself and keep myself that way. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna be real, man. Vulnerable. It might be times where you might see me tear up, you might see me cry because I do get emotional sometimes, but we're gonna get into this. Letitia, thank you. Good seeing you, girl. I haven't seen you in a while. Talk to you a while. I'll catch up with you. Trevor, hey, how you doing? Angelo, oh, thanks, bro. Oh, the whole room is done. I can't show it to you, but when we get all the cameras up, you'll see all the Marvel, DC, Fire, old card posters. Everything's in here on the wall. Mental health issues, yes. Now that I do want to talk about, I want to get some parents in here. Autism acceptance in the community. I know I've had family members that are autistic. I have friends that have autistic children. Like, I don't know what it's like. I don't. I can honestly tell you, I don't know what you go through. I don't know how hard it is. I don't know the weight that you carry. I don't know any of that. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know why you're upset sometimes. A lot of people don't know why you carry such a heavy burden, and not knowing that, oh, well, okay, your kid's autistic. Get help. How hard is it to get help? So we're gonna get into all that. Y'all know I can stay here all night and talk all night, but we're gonna go. I see that you do, so I might talk to you. I might have you and another guest in here that have autistic children to come in and talk about that. And I know it can be very hard. I just don't know your pain, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do. So that's what this is about: being real, being raw, being 100% honest, and just letting it out, man. You will never be judged by me. You will never be getting fingers pointed by me. I'm here just to love on y'all, share love, show love, be real with y'all, and let's make it happen, man. Y'all, let's blow this up. Follow me. Go to YouTube. I'll try to get all this. Somebody help me. Michael, get on here and help me how to get all my what is it?
Was that your connection links?
Yeah, there you go. See, that's why I got Alex here, because I don't remember to get my links and all that stuff posted to get this all set up a little bit better. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If y'all need to, y'all keep talking, communicate with each other on here. If you're an autism, if you're a parent of an autistic, hit up somebody else on here. Make friends, make family, make it happen. That's what it's about. I want to be able to have this be a whole nother community to question with no judgment on family and life matters. So watch what your kids are watching, be involved in their lives, sit their books and stuff down for a little bit, spend more time with them. If that means that you don't get to go on a date because you're spending a little time with them, don't let it overtake your life. But if that means that you don't get to go on a date because, hey, this is the night, Wednesday nights, I got to spend time with my kids, that's our movie night, and do it. Or, figure out something and make it work. Don't consume yourself with work because you're so consumed with trying to provide for them and make them have the best life ever that it takes time away from them. Spend that time with them. Love yourself, love your family, love your friends. I love y'all. Ronnie Mac out. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.